Alright guys, so I put some U-joints in this front drive shaft. This is an OG Maverick XXC, as you can see, 2014. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Over 3,000 miles on it, so that's pretty good. That's factory U-joints in it, by the way, that I took out. However, I did a lapse of not getting the video, I guess you'd say, taking it all apart. So, as I put it back together, I'm going to give you a rundown of what I did and stuff. Just because, like I said, a lapse, obviously it's not going to be as good as taking it apart to begin with, for the first get-go. But to start off, I took the seat out, which, they just come out like a standard razor or whatever. It's just got this little latch here. It's, if it's in the vehicle, it's the back part of the cushion down in there. Then you just roll it toward, when you pop that loose, you'll tell because they sort of pop up. They got pressure on the bottom of them. So just roll that forward. And I usually try and tilt the top out past this net. And of course this net will move back some. But sort of tilt it over this way and roll it out. And then I just set it back there. Then I took off this kick panel. Not sure you call it a kick panel actually, but this panel just here, all it is little push pins. You can use a screwdriver. I've used side cutters before. If they're tough to get out, usually you can get them to start with a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and I use the side cutters. Just don't squeeze with them, just sort of tighten them up against it, I guess I'd say, and pull, and they'll usually pop out. I have a set of pliers made for that, but I'm not sure where they're at. Here they are. I bought these. I've seen them from Blue Point, or these are the Snap-on ones, I'm sorry. Blue Point, I've got a set of Mac ones that work. The Macs are a little bit better because they're steel handled and stuff, while these are a plastic. So you can squeeze a little bit better with the Mac ones. But I'm sure a place like Harbor Freight, AutoZone, such places that sell car tools would have them. I don't know how much they'd be. I think that set was like 30 bucks. But I do a lot of this, so also do a lot of it at work with push pins on vehicles. So next thing I done was I took this wheel off. This is the passenger side wheel, and I also took off this fender liner here. The wheel was, I believe, 17 millimeters. Here, there's 4 little nuts. Left everything else connected. There was a bolt here, and I think that was, I don't feel like that was it, but that's all I see. Let's see out there. Must have been, but both of them was like Torx screws. Oh, there's the 2 I took out that I remember. I don't see none on that other side. So I took them out, got that panel out. I also, let me see if I can find it here. There's a panel that sits back in there. This panel here sits back in there sort of like this. I mean, it sits like that if you're looking at the machine. And so the drive shaft comes through here in this circle-ish part. So you gotta take this out to get the drive shaft out. There was something there, but I don't know what, because it was already gone. So I'm gonna see. I'll have to see about that. I think it'll just slide back in there from the looks of it. And then there was this part. This one here had 1 screw in it that I believe was an 8 millimeter. And this was a Torx I had to take loose from the inside in the kick panel area. I believe it was this one right here. It is, I mean, this one's push pin, that's push pin, and that should be the Torx screw you take out. I also took loose all the push pins out of this front panel. That's a Torx bolt, and these 2 push pins you already have out from taking that panel off. Push pin there. There's one we was talking about. There's the other one we was talking about. There's that screw. And I think this upper part here has a screw in it. It's out, but I mean, for what you'll need it for, I don't think you have to take that one out. Really, I don't think you need to take that one out either. But I just went ahead and took all of them out. So, next thing I done was I took the mounting bolts out for that front differential. Actually, don't do that yet. I'm sorry. What you're going to want to do is take the bolt out that holds the pinion or the yoke onto the diff. I use a 12mm wrench, and it was really hard to break loose. I ended up double wrenching it to break it loose. So you're going to have to do that, and that's one of the reasons I took the tire loose, so it was easier to get in there. Now, you can take like your A-arms and stuff off and do something with that tie rod or drop that steering linkage out, get more room, but I don't see what you would put in it would make much of a difference time-wise. I think you'd be better off just trying to get your bolt to break loose, double wrenching it without taking all that stuff off. That's how I did mine. It is tight to turn off because they used red Loctite in it, which I did get some back to put on those bolts, or on that bolt, I'll say. I got another one for the back. That's a different subject. But yeah, so you'll have to put the red Loctite back on it. But I took double wrenched it, like I said, and it took quite a bit of flex. You really need an offset wrench too. You don't need a straight one. A ratchet wrench won't fit in there either. But you got to get a few turns on it before it starts, turn sort of loose, I guess you'd say, especially with that Loctite. And I also have this on a jack on the brake pedal. If you wanted to, you could leave that wheel on and just sort of set it down, like set both front wheels on the ground to break it loose. But the stick on the brake pedal worked for me. I mean, if y'all got something similar, then it'll work. As long as you hold the wheels. So then I took the diff bolts out after that. You can see that one there in the left, sort of right above the axle cup. They're all 15mm. No, the bolts all the way through it are 15, and those bolts are 13. There's two in the top that are 13, and they just go into the case. They don't go all the way through. And you can see the one hole there. The other one is right behind this blunt line. You can see it there now. I used a ratchet on that one. I could use a 1/2-inch electric impact on that one with some extensions. So I took them loose. There is two bolts all the way through it. One is sort of right there. That's the other side. Let's see if I can get you an angle of this side. I can't really get my light in there with my recorder, but you can get it through this side. It's dropped down down into the frame on that. And there's one right here in front. Take them two out, and them two bolts, and your diff will move. And so after I've done that, I have a crab bar here. I mean, it's a pretty decent one. You can get them at Harbor Freight and such again. Lowe's, whatever. And I came back here and got between the yoke. Let's see if I can find this shaft. But you can see the shaft down in there. I pried off of right here where this case is, sort of around the oil filter area. But you see that brace cast into the block there? I sort of use that to pry against to pop it off. And what I had to do was just keep prying until it just popped off that thing, off that stub, and then sort of shove it over, like towards the other side, the driver's side of the motor, to get to pop off, then pull loose from the diff. And then it's just as simple as you pull. It'll be on the other side of this bar, so I just pulled up, and you sort of hold this panel back like that, and you can pull it out pretty easily. So there's that. I'm going to try and stick some of this back together, and I'll cover other if I need. Hey there, guys. So today I'm going to cover some U-joints here on a This is a Can-Am Maverick XXC, the original Maverick, not the X3. But I've had some issues. I've seen a lot of people suggest using CarQuest brand, CarQuest Moog, Napa, whatever, O'Reilly U-joints. This is the back drive shaft. He had an issue with, which it was not very well maintained, I would say. The U-joint broke once I actually done all that. I cleaned it up pretty good so that it would take a new U-joint. As you can see there, I had to clean it up and stuff down in the holes here. This end is a Can-Am joint. This is the factory, you know, whatever the joint it calls for. That grease fitting's off just now a little bit. But, so, this one was put in after the joint I just took out here. This was the Moog brand joint. It was non-greasable, while the Can-Ams are greasable. I don't know if you can get the other ones, like, you know, the other aftermarket ones are greasable, or if there's a different one. The one that was in this one that was Moog was a part number I got off of the internet in the Maverick forums. So I don't know how many miles it's been in there. I mean, it's just within the last 6 months, probably 200 to 300 miles I put this in. Which really, you know, that ain't a whole lot. I ran Moog ones in my Razor 900S. There was 3 in the drive shaft for the 4-wheel drive, and that was it. But as most of you know, the Maverick, the original Maverick, is set up way different. You know, the Razor's more like the X3 in the drivetrain than this. So what we have here, this is the Moog one. This is the one I took out. Both of these caps here, this cap and this cap, have the pieces out of it, but that was due to when I knocked it out just a minute ago. Sorry about that slight interruption. But so as you can see, I mean, that is trashed. Just, you can see sort of the, I guess that's, you know, that's grease. You can see like the metal in there, and I mean, both of these, it was the same piece. I mean, they was right across from each other. It was this left one and this right one. I'm not sure what happened to the top and the bottom one, that they're you know, they look decent. Really wouldn't know play in them. All the play was in this side, so I don't know what happened there. If it keeps on, man, I might put a drive shaft in it or something. See if that alleviates the issue, because it may be do something with how these cups are holding in here. There's a little bit of gap right there in the bottom of this one. You can see there how it sort of dips in. But, I mean, there ain't a whole lot to do about that. Unless, like I said, I put the new shaft in there. But these are the caps off of the sides that look good. All the bearings and stuff was in them, or I guess you'd say needles. All the dust caps, that one's, I dropped it in the floor. That one obviously too, but both dust caps on there. Like I said, the dust caps was on these two, but I just don't know. So my main thing here is to just give you all advice to probably best to use factory parts back in these for the U-joints. Had a lot better luck in my Razor. I had probably 2,500 miles before I put a U-joint in that drivetrain. That's really good to me as far as that was. And they were non-greasable versus this one that's non-greasable with, like I said, 200 to 300 miles on it. He never goes through real deep water or nothing, so I don't think, you know, I'm sure it's got some water in it, but I don't think that's really what happened there.